All right, today I'm going to try out a feature on my drone that's very specific to the Phantom 4 Pro. It's called narrow sensing. So what it is it basically takes all of the sensors on that drone and you can manually narrow them down so you can fly through narrow spaces. If you're flying it in tripod mode, which is what I'm going to use, all of the sensors are functioning forward, sideways, and down. So when it gets within, like, say 5 feet of something, it will stop and you can't go by it. But if you set up this narrow sensing, it brings those sensors in closer so you can go through smaller gaps. So I'm going to test it on trails like this. This is relatively tight quarters, at least for a drone. So my hope here is A, to see if it works. This is my first time, so if I can get it, most of you should be able to. B, to see how it works through the tight spaces and get some good video. And C, to use it in tight spaces without crashing it or nicking a tree or something like that. Now, the benefits that I think this will give me, and most of you as well, is good video coverage in tight spaces. So I'm going to go through ATV trails and walking trails. Normally, if you have your camera, you're walking, trying to narrate this way, you got a little bounce action going on. If you got a GoPro up on the head strap, the same thing, you're bouncing around like this. But if you could fly a drone through an area where you'd normally be walking, it's going to give you nice steady view of that area, almost as if you're walking yourself. So let's give it a whirl. All right, here's the setting for go to your general settings, then the controller settings, and it's these two here. You could see the C1 and the C2. All right, the C2 you just click on, that happens to be the right button, and you scroll down to narrow sensing and you hit that, and now you are narrow sensing. So once you set up your narrow sensing, I set it up to be this C2 button. So in other words, while you're flying, you push and hold that button and that will engage the narrow sensing. All right, we're in tripod mode. We'll try it out. All right, it's stuck there right now in front of that branch. I'm going to hit the button and I'm going to try and go around it. Perfect. Oh, I guess it didn't work there. Oh, I guess it didn't work there. see that branch. All right, now it won't go forward. I'm going to try the sensing again. And that time it worked. All right, we made it. All right, I hit that tree in there. You may have seen that on the video, but I used the narrow sensing just on this short flight back and forth about 5 times. Even to land it, when it was next to this tree here, it wouldn't go anywhere. So when I hit that narrow sensing, then it let me land right here in a nice open spot. So it does work pretty good. It must have missed that little branch that didn't have any leaves on it. That's why I didn't see it. So it's not perfect, but let's go try out some more. All right, I've got this really long trail here, and it's hard to see in the camera, but it goes like this and it winds back and forth. I'm just going to walk behind it and try to walk this trail and come back and just see how it looks. All right, here it is, stuck again. I'm going to hit the narrow, I won't come backwards. I'm going to hit the narrow sensing and pow, right up next to the camera. All right, it won't go forward there. So I'm going to try and hit the sensor button, narrow sensing button on the bottom, and right by it, about 2 inches. All right, here it is, stuck again. I'm going to hit the narrow, I won't come backwards. I'm going to hit the narrow sensing and pow, right up next to the camera. All right, so that's my test and review of the narrow sensing. Pretty impressive overall. 2 times I nicked something. The sensors obviously didn't see it, but one of them times it was a branch. So you're kind of playing with fire a little bit if you're going to be getting that close, but that's why you're supposed to fly in visual range as well. But overall, it worked very well. It must have stopped it about a dozen times, give or take. And even it wouldn't let me land. So that narrow sensing has a good application for a beginner user like me to be able to get it to work. That's pretty impressive. So as I'm using this Phantom 4 Pro, I'm getting more comfortable with it. Believe me, it's not user friendly. All the computer settings, it is not user friendly, but once you learn it, you get a better understanding of it. So I'm really digging the drone. Stay tuned for a lot more drone videos.